What's going on, guys? This is Tony here from Strictly Better MTG. Today I'm here with Devin. We're bringing you our next set review. It's going to be red because we're going in reverse order. Yeah!
Yeah. So, let's go ahead.
Without further ado.
Yeah, we can kick off red. This is going to be awesome.
Starting off, we've got a Tarkir for 4 mana, 5/1, and limited. Fine. Megamorph makes her a little bit more relevant because she'll become a 6/2, and she's going to deal 1 damage to target creature or player. 1 damage, not so relevant, really.
Maybe. You know, this kills tokens, which we'll see a lot of in sealed, and it kills. You know, we saw a lot of stuff in the green set review yesterday that was 1 power or 1 toughness. So that's somewhat relevant. It kills some things in green and white.
It can also technically be a combat trick. You can get that 1 point of damage through to block their extra point of toughness.
This is cool because it's a great bolster target. You know, so pairing up with green is a fine card. But I think it's a fine card on its own, too. That's probably all we have to say about it, though.
Yeah.
You know. Moving on. I like this guy in sealed a lot, actually. This is a Tarkir Pummeler, and I like the name. He's a pummeler. But yeah, he's a 5 mana 4/5, and his formidable ability is fairly costed for what it does because it is a relevant ability.
You're going to be able to play his formidable ability. Cast-wise, at least, right after you've cast him on your next turn.
Casting him virtually guarantees that you can pay his formidable cost. So,
yeah, because
he gets you halfway there. Yeah. So I like this guy. He's a really good body. He's very splashable. And honestly, you don't even have to. Just a vanilla 4/5 that's splashable for 5 mana is somewhat okay on its own. You don't necessarily have to have the formidable ability, but if you do, then that's fine too. Yeah. So yeah, it's the whole. That could be game ending, and you know, it could break stalemates. You know, it's a good ability. Speaking of game ending,
up next we've got Berserker's Onslaught at 5 mana for an enchantment that gives all your attacking creatures double strike.
I love that it's an enchantment, not a sorcery or something.
Yeah, in limited this will be a great bomb. A nice game changer for you. Yep. Something that's going to help you finish the game.
In limited this finishes very well.
Oh yeah.
I think.
But
with all your 4 and 5 power flyers and stuff, like this is crazy in limited.
No standard play
at all.
Unless Red Devotion becomes a thing, and you, for some reason, you're not running something that gives your guys haste, and you're gonna have to swing on turn 5.
Please be running something that gives your guys haste.
Yeah,
there's enough haste and double strike. Yeah. So, but still, this looks like a casual-ish card, but I think it is a bomb in sealed. So, definitely not as much draft, I think. Although there is, we'll see down the line, a draft deck that is like strictly fast mono red, the dash deck. Yeah. But even this, I think, may be priced out of that deck's range. So, you know, I think we can probably go on to the next card. This is a cool card. This is Commune with Lava. Commune with Lava works for a couple of different decks. We talked about aggro a little bit. We talked about mid-range a little bit, you know.
I feel like maybe a Mardu, the Mardu Mac list, maybe. The mid-range aggro control.
Yeah. That's a cool list, too. I like this in mono red, obviously. That's the obvious choice. Yeah. I like this in green red. I like this in black red a lot. People are talking about Rakdos being a thing. As far as 3-color goes, this may possibly Jund, if that's a thing. We're talking about that being a thing. Won't spend too much time on it, but last thing I'll say is that in aggro, you're always looking for those last couple of burn spells to finish them off. You don't want to draw land, and that's the time you always draw your mountain.
Being able to dig through the top of your deck like that is going to help you finish them off.
That's good. Even if you only draw 2 or 3 cards, draw 2 or 3 cards, then this is very good considering instant speed. You know, if it wasn't instant speed, it would be total garbage. But I think there's something to it. Yeah. Speaking of, I think there's something to it. Check out this next card.
This next card is something me and Devin have gone back and forth on a lot. It's a Crater Elemental. At a 0/6.
I famously called this Crafter Elemental all through the spoiler. I swear to God, it said Crafter Elemental. But anyway.
0/6 with some built-in removal for dealing 4 damage to target creature. Sure, it does require the sack, but in limited, that's going to be fine. That's great. It's a nice limited bomb because you can probably get your formidable off. There's enough big guys going around.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I hate that he doesn't put anything towards his own formidable. That's a pain in the butt.
But there is the green enchantment that we mentioned in our green set review that reverses.
Yeah, assault formation.
That sort of thing.
Yeah, this is really funny. Formation. This is really funny with assault formation. You have 3 mana 6/6, more or less.
Yeah, so
and they can take other guys out.
You know, and turn 3, you get a 0/6 that can block and deal 6 damage.
I feel like one of these abilities was added later. You know what I mean? Like, give a little bit. This needs to be slightly better than in the lab, you know. But no, in sealed, I think this is quite good. You know, anything that blocks a bunch of stuff on the ground and also can kill a guy. I mean, this is removal, so this is obviously very good in sealed. Standard, I will say one thing about this card in standard before we move on. I'll make this point very quickly. So first turn, you Monastery Swiftspear. This isn't Magic Christmas Land either. This is just how this deck plays. First turn, you Monastery Swiftspear. Second turn, you Seeker of the Way. And third turn, you play this guy. Now, fourth turn, if you get your drop, let's assume you get your land drop, then you Titan Strength your Seeker of the Way, and that's 8 power. That's 8 power right there, and enough mana to still turn on your Crater Elemental.
Your Seeker of the Way goes up to 6.
Yep, that's 8. 2 plus 6 is 8. Last time I checked.
And then you still have 3 mana left over to activate him and make him an 8/6 and swing over with 3 guys.
Yep,
that
swing
are
swing for 16. So there's something to it. I think there's something to it. I don't think it's entirely bold, but we can move on. This is Descent of the Dragons. I'm going to let Tony talk a bit about this one. He's looked a little bit into this.
I've been trying to make this work. I found a couple different options to help it make it work.
You and like half the Magic community.
Yeah.
This is a thing.
Everybody's trying to build this combo where it is...
Dragon's Tempest.
Yeah, Descent of the Dragons and Dragon's Tempest. I've tried to theorize on this a bunch with maybe a bunch of green mana dorks, so you just have a bunch of creatures to pop it, to ramp into it real quick. Yep. At the same time, I've also thought about trying to use Battlefield Thaumaturge, so we have a blue-red.
Yeah, you told me about that. That's kind of cute.
Because of the cuteness of this text, it's destroy target creatures, any number of target creatures. So with that in mind, Battlefield Thaumaturge's effect, instant and sorcery spells you would cast cost 1 colorless less to cast for each creature they would target. So that instantly makes it a 2 red mana spell to just boom.
That's kind of neat. But at the end of the day, I honestly think that it's strictly casual. You know?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I don't see it being a combo right now. Maybe after actual set rotation. Maybe. Like after Theros is gone.
I don't know, because we'll still, well, maybe. After Theros is gone, we'll still have like Disdainful Stroke, and that just like destroys all of this. So, destroys Descent of the Dragons. So, I don't know, man. I don't think history will remember Descent of the Dragons.
Fair enough.
Coming up next, you got this one.
Oh, alright. We got Draconic Roar. It's a fine card.
Fosroda!
So it's very similar to Searing Blood and Searing Blaze. Yep. Searing Blood is a much better conditional one.
Yeah, we all love Searing Blood.
Yeah, because that's just when the creature dies, versus revealing a dragon card or having a land enter the battlefield under your control.
Landfall plays. This, though, I was pretty cold on it when I first read it, and I'm still relatively cold on it, but we do have Stormbreath Dragon and some other good red dragons, you know, it's not like...
Yeah, there are plenty of other dragons.
They're not in short supply or anything.
Yeah, so we could potentially see a dragon deck that's heavy with that can do this sort of thing.
Yeah. Well, we have the Regent, he's kind of cool, yeah.
The 4 mana Regent and the 5 mana Stormbreath. And
so maybe. You know, red really should be... It should have the best dragons. It's always been the dragon color. So. Oh, yeah. Coming up next is...
Dragon Fodder.
Dragon Fodder.
Dragon Fodder. Get 2/1/1 red goblins.
Always been good.
Yeah.
Always been good. And now, now I get that this is sorcery speed, and the card I'm about to mention is instant speed. But if this you could make an argument for... This allows for mono-red tokens decks as opposed to red-white tokens decks, you know, because they have to play Raise the Alarm. They play Monastery Mentor a lot of the time. Yeah. But now you don't have to play Raise the Alarm. You can just play Dragon Fodder in its place. So, yeah, doesn't have the applications with stuff like Prowess, you know, during combat that a Raise the Alarm does. But I still think this is more than good. This is fine. Probably will see some standard play.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up. Here's the card that we mentioned a second ago in concert with Descent of the Dragons. Yeah. This is Dragon Tempest, and this has some relevance in sealed outside of just the combo. I think this has some relevance.
Oh, yeah.
All you guys get haste. This is kind of cool. You know?
Yeah. Anytime a creature with flying enters battlefield, it gains haste until end of turn.
In a set that's dragons oriented, that is pretty darn good. Honestly, all your dragons get haste. So.
Especially at 2 mana, so you can just have it sit there for a while. Granted, that may make it target for early removal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like,
well, they're not going to board in. I mean, they will have to board in Enchantment Hate. I mean, you hardly ever play main deck in Enchantment Hate. So, you know, I think the Dragon Tempest isn't the best card we've ever seen, obviously. But, you know, even in sealed, it'll deal 1-2 damage every now and again when you play a dragon. And, you know, it's got applications. I don't know if it's worth the slot, though, ultimately.
depends on your pool.
Here's a card that's worth the slot.
Dragon Whisperer, yes.
Worth the slot.
This is your Swiss Army knife, double red drop, like 2 red, 2/2.
Cut you too.
He's got the ability to have flying, and he's got fire breathing. Don't even worry about his formidable cost. Like, it's nice, but
if you can get it, you know, 4/4 flying dragon is good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the better formidable abilities that we've seen. It costs a lot of mana though, but this fulfills devotion requirements. You know, it's same power toughness as its CMC. It can gain flying, which is very, very good. It can pump, which is always good. Your mana sink and sealed probably will see a fair amount of standard play. Oh yeah. So I really like Dragon's Whisper. It's probably the best red card in the set. Maybe. Maybe. It's the one I'm most excited for.
It is in my top 3.
Let's throw a Dragon's Whisperer party. I'm seriously excited about this card. Definitely. I'm not showing it. I look like pretty apathetic right now. Like, Dragon's Whisperer is a good card. But on the inside, I'm like, Dragon's Whisperer! So,
moving right along though, we get Dragon Lord's Servant.
Cool card.
2 mana 1/3s have traditionally seen some play in limited.
Yep, exactly. We talk about that a lot. 2 mana 1/3s are good in limited play.
Yeah, on top of that, he's going to make your dragon spells that you would cast cost less.
Yeah.
So that's kind of relevant in this limited format right now. There's enough dragons going around to just...
Yeah. Especially in this color. I mean, he's in the right color to do what he does.
Yeah.
My question is he pushed for sealed play only, or is he in some way pushed for standard play?
I think he might be pushed for standard play.
Slightly.
But I'm going to also say with this card that will be after Theros is gone.
Yeah, you know, we won't have carry at it anymore. You know,
like there's a bunch of things that'll...
Voyaging Satyr won't be around. So.
Yeah, we won't have Nixos to help with like all crazy devotion tricks and stuff.
That's true. I don't know how much we'll see it in standard. Even post rotation, we'll see. We'll absolutely have to see about that. I do have a feeling that in Magic Origins, considering that's sort of a celebration of Magic's history, it's the last core set, we'll probably see some kick-ass dragons in that set. So,
I hope they bring back the type of dragons like I saw before. Like, don't get me wrong, the effects on them were ungodly terrible. But
I want to see like Kamigawa Black Dragons back.
It was these old legendary elder dragons that were.
Oh yeah.
The old.
Yeah. They're from Legends and Chronicles later on.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I actually talked about those in my speculation video for this set. I was really hoping they'd bring them back. Now we did get elder dragons, but we didn't get those elder dragons. So it's kind of lame, Wizards.
Maybe Magic Origin.
Maybe.
Moving right along.
This is Hardened Berserker, and I like that this is right next to Dragon Lord's Servant, because in Sealed they both help you play your big dragons, you know. This is probably strictly Sealed though. I think that there's an inclination to look at this and be like, maybe Standard? No, I don't think so. In Sealed though, definitely does help you play your spells, your giant dragon dudes and such, so I'd play this.
Oh yeah.
I'd play this in Sealed. Probably moving on though.
Oh yeah. Moving right along though, we got Impact Trimmers.
It's this card.
Oh, this thing.
I have a thing to say about this. Very quickly.
By all means.
We see a lot of decks in Commander. I know that's a dirty word around these parts. In set review videos, for whatever reason, people are like, dude, Commander's stupid. But like, people like to play Commander, so whatever. In Commander, there's a lot of decks that make either infinite creatures or a bunch of creatures all in one turn. Yeah. And this is a win condition for those decks. We talked a bit before taping this about the infinite combo in Standard that creates all the mana.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's ways.
Splashing white for...
Yep, that thing. I don't remember what it's called either, but it's X and a white. It's in this set. It's instant speed, and it just creates X warriors.
Yeah.
So,
X
yeah.
1/1 warriors.
If you can fire... I mean, that's pretty far-fetched, but if you, it's probably the best feeling you'll ever have in your entire life. If you
Naya Infinite Warriors.
Yep. Naya Infinite Warriors. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Deck Tech on Naya Infinite Warriors. If you have no idea what the hell we're talking about, request Deck Tech on Naya Infinite Warriors.
Yes.
We'll do that. So, yeah, I think this has some sort of funny, casual applications, and people will like it. But maybe not. It's certainly no Bitter Blossom or anything for 2-mana enchantments.
Oh, God.
So let's move on.
Moving on, we got Aire Shaman.
Aire Shaman.
Yeah, for a 2-mana 2/1, what is it? Can't be blocked by 2 or more.
Yeah, that's
except
relevant.
by 2 or more.
Except
creatures,
by 2 or more creatures. Has to have 2 dudes block him and kill him every time.
Yeah, that's relevant.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's relevant enough to see standard play. He still just comes down to a 2-mana 2/1.
Then this is another thing where his Megamorph thing, where he does Chandra's 0 ability.
Yeah.
That you have an inclination to say like this could be good in standard, but even then I don't know. I mean, Mono Red doesn't want to spend a turn morphing a guy and then maybe get a draw out of him next turn, and I'm not really feeling it too much. Sealed, this is a more than fine card. It's cool. We talked a little bit before this. I'm going to say this before we move on. Go ahead.
If it does break standard, it's going to be a Teamer Morph deck that we've been hearing word about.
There's been whisperings of it on the internet.
Yeah, there's some kind of like green-blue or Sultai and possibly Teamer because they get like Rattleclaw Mystic for a good morph.
Right. I just want it to be Simic, honestly. I don't care about red. I do care about red. I'm just not seeing it as a thing in that deck. But yeah, sealed card. The one point I wanted to make real quick was that when we talked about green yesterday, we talked about how a lot of the cards are high power to casting cost ratio. These cards are high mana cost to effect in red. We see a lot of red cards that are relatively low cost, but they have 2 and 3 effects. Swiss Army Knife creatures that do more than one thing, and that's always very good. There's a lot of onboard effects in red for sealed, so I like red as a sealed killer. But we can move on. Here's a reprint.
Kindled Fury, 1 red mana instant, and target creature.
It's Defiant Strike, but he gets first strike, and you don't draw a card, so it's worse.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I have lost
this to me.
I have lost a creature more than once to Kindled Fury in sealed play. It has happened to me before.
Yeah.
So Kindled Fury is not the worst card for sealed at all. But in a set where a lot of the creatures have more power toughness than they statistically would otherwise, this card is less relevant.
Yeah.
So, and as far as standard goes, Defiant Strike, I think it's just better. You want the card advantage more than you want the first strike. So
this is true.
that was a mouthful, but I think that's all we have to say about Kindled Fury. This is Kolagon Aspirant. This, I have to read. This is a 2-mana 2/1, and it's this thing. Okay, so fine in sealed. When I was talking about the mono red draft deck earlier, I think this is a perfect example of that deck. This goes in there, and it doesn't really go anywhere else. We can probably move on to the next guy.
Moving on, we've got Kolagon Forerunners, and
You have thoughts?
In Limited, I actually don't like this guy very much because you just don't... It's not guaranteed that you're going to have enough creatures for this to make that much of a relevance.
That's true.
Especially since his effect is Dash. Like, that Dash is a relevant ability in Limited, don't get me wrong. But it becomes less relevant building a Dash deck in Limited because...
Like all your guys won't be in play?
Yeah. All your guys are going to be out of play in your hand, and you're going to have to try and have enough mana to cast all those Dash cards.
Yeah, once he attacks, he'll have some more PT, but still, you're right. You'll have to have all the mana to dash those guys. In Standard, we talked about it a little bit, but they're just, for that deck, we've got Goblin Ravelmaster, we've got Monastery Mentor. They're just better 3-drops for that, but we're still going to... Tony talked about this. We still might brew with this.
I'm still going to try and build a budget tokens deck that has this guy in there for the 3-drop over like Ravelmaster and Monastery Mentor. I'm probably going to try and make it like 2 copies of Monastery Mentor because I'm trying to keep it to a budget.
Yeah. Monastery Mentor, he's risen a little bit,
Yeah. So like...
But, we'll try him out. I'm not too sure, though. I never really liked stuff like this, Especially in Sealed. Before we move on, let's make the point that in Sealed, you always think you're going to have some guys, but you only have like 2 or 3 guys ever, so... The
only avatar I've ever seen good in Sealed is Nightmare.
Yeah, Nightmare's good in Sealed. Nightmare's pretty decent.
Yeah.
And like, mono and 2-color draft environments, Nightmare's very good. This guy, not so much, so... But there are a lot of token generators in the format, so there's that to consider.
Indeed.
Blah, blah. Who cares? We can move on to the next card. This is Kolagon Stormsinger. Okay, so a strictly better upgrade to Raging Goblin, and that is literally all.
Yeah.
That is it.
It's a 1-mana 1/1 haste.
Yep, I don't even like him in limited environments. I don't play this guy. Mm-hmm. I don't co-sign with him.
If he was a goblin, I would consider.
Maybe, he had a chance of getting another, incremental advantage of some kind, but no.
It just helps with the goblin deck if you want to go for like straight Rabble Master.
This is one of my favorite cards in the entire set.
Wow, really?
No, not because of her effect or anything, just because her name's Lightning Berserker and she looks exactly like Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. Like, she has the pink hair and she's all like, ah! So, yeah, that's pretty much why I like this card. Although,
that's fine. That's fine. I think she's actually just a fine card for limited. I wouldn't really consider her for standard, but she's a 1-mana 1/1 flyer. Not flyer.
She pumps.
Fire breather.
There you go. F words.
For pump and hardcast and dash at the same cost, that's kind of severely pushed for an uncommon.
Yeah, that's good. That's quite good. I hate that I want her to be a common, but I'm always asking for too much from my Magic cards.
Yeah.
But after rotation, we talk a little bit about after rotation sometimes. After rotation, we'll lose a fair amount of good 1-drops in red. And this is good because it's tricky. If they haven't seen you dash it in yet, you could feasibly get 4 or 5 damage off of this thing. So it's could be a ball lightning in some situations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot to love about this card, but I don't think that it has the power level that we're looking for right now in standard. You know.
I will say this much though. On the bright side, it is always going to give you the power that you put into it.
Yeah. Every time. Put 3 into it, you get 3, 4, 4, 5. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. We can move on.
Yep. We got Lose Calm.
Lose Calm. Oh, this is the threatened active treason thing. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's always a good card in limited.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Every time. Especially in sealed. Sealed is a little slower. People play bigger guys in sealed, The decks are a little sloppier. And this will just always net their biggest guy.
Exactly. And it makes it even more or even less advantageous for your opponent to block because one way or the other, like, something's going to die that way.
Yeah, that added graveyard is pretty cool. It really is in this case because they'll almost certainly just take the damage because that's a really, really weird blocking situation for them to be in. Like, I can either kill my own guy or kill, like, sometimes they have to kill 2 of their own guys in that situation. So, a lot of the time, if they want to block. So, yeah, that's a fine card.
Oh, yeah. Moving on, we get...
Probably the card that we will talk the least about in the entire set.
Magmatic Chasm.
Yep.
2-mana creatures without flying can't block this turn. That is going to be so irrelevant.
Yep, I mean, we get some...
there will be some relevance, but...
Yeah, like, white and green have a lot of ground guys. Even red has a lot of ground guys, but we see a card like this in every limited environment for red. Every single limited environment has this card, or one like it. And you play it one of in the main, or sometimes you board it, and these effects do see play as game enders, They're very situational. And this one, statistically, more so than usual because of all the flyers. Next card is Calcisma Behemoth. We had a little bit of a deal about this card before we talked, before we recorded. Calcisma Behemoth.
3-mana 5/5. So yeah,
that's
great.
That's good.
However, 2 colorless to attack or block.
Yeah.
So that kind of becomes an instant, like, red counterspell against yourself.
It becomes a red counterspell against their combat step, because as long as you have 2 mana up, they might have to worry about swinging with the guy, because you have a big 5/5.
Yeah, because
you may choose to block if you have 2 mana up. My thing about this is that I don't like it in limited environments at all, especially environments like this that have so many, like I said, huge guys that you want to play. So it's like I can either swing with my 5/5 or I can play any spell this turn. You know what I mean? That's kind of a terrible decision to have to make. But if you, in a constructed environment where you build around something like this, you don't build around this card, but there's synergies you can create. Yeah. So especially since he's at the top of your curve in a mono red deck, having to pay 2 mana isn't so bad to attack with him in later turns. So 3 mana 5/5, I think he might be okay in a very budget sort of mono red build.
I know we might end up being his actual limited thing is he's one of the battle shift guys.
Yeah, you build around, you put huge stuff on him.
Yeah. But just play him 3rd turn and start putting a bunch of enchantments and things on him, and then finally like, you conserve the 2 mana to attack or block the whole time, and then just boom.
He's a threat, but he's a threat you have to invest in. Like, you don't pay his whole casting cost right away. You pay it more over time, and that's always a bad investment. You're paying interest.
Very bad.
You're paying interest on his casting cost, and it's a bad investment. So.
Yeah.
Next up,
Rending Volley. Devin really likes this card, and
I'm
I actually on board with him as well. It's 1 red mana for 4 damage to target white or blue creature, and it can't be countered.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's good.
Yep.
That
is
great.
It's 4 damage at 1 mana to almost any relevant creature in the format. Because red-white is so big right now. Mono red's big right now, or excuse me, red-white's big right now. Blue-white heroic is big right now. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, obviously it doesn't kill Siege Rhino, even though it can target Siege Rhino, it doesn't kill, and that's kind of disappointing. But it's,
I mean, even against blue-white control, if you would have to try and have extra stuff to go for it. But like Ojutai after they swing with it.
Yeah.
Or
I thought about that earlier today too. That's a huge thing with this card. But speaking of cards that I like, this is Roast. This, on the other hand, does kill Siege Rhino, which I think is one of the most important factors to look at when you're looking at this card. This goes in the board of pretty much any deck that runs red, and definitely the mono-red budget deck that has problems dealing with Siege Rhino specifically. So yeah, I love this card. Next up, what's this guy?
Sabertooth Outrider. We had a thing about this earlier. He does get you halfway to his Formidable, which is notable. Gaining first strike at 4 power with a Trampler isn't terrible.
No, first strike.
Not bad.
First strike is better than a lot of people give it credit for in limited environments, but I still I kind of just yawn at this card.
Yeah, I'm just not terribly excited about it.
I don't care that much.
If he was like 1 mana less, then I would be like, woohoo!
Whoa, yeah, that would be awesome.
But 4 mana, 4/2, at 4 mana, if you had more toughness.
Yeah, but at a high casting cost, I really hate low toughness. I am not a fan of, and red is really bad about that. The high power, low toughness, I really don't like that. It trades down with a lot of stuff. I mean, it trades up too. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, they can chump block and kill it, and I hate that. So.
Yeah.
Moving on. This is Sarkhan's Rage, which I imagine a lot of people will make an argument for, but I don't think either of us really care for it that much.
It wants to be a strictly better Lava Axe, but because it's a Lava Axe at instant speed, they had to put a drawback on there now, and give us another red card that's dependent on our dragons.
Oh, at least it's Lava Axe that can hit creatures for 1 less mana.
Yeah, this is true.
I mean, 5 mana in limited is, a quarter of their life total. So that's 25% of their life total. That seems fine, especially since this is a common. You'll see more than one sometimes. So I think that you probably play it in sealed, but people are talking about a little maybe standard play. I'm not seeing that at all.
I would completely run that in sealed because either way, it's still 5 damage to target creature.
This is almost
it's your creature removal, not just your player kill.
Almost guaranteed removal.
Yeah.
There's some stuff at the higher end in this set that it doesn't kill, but even some of the stuff that costs 6 mana only has 4 or 5 toughness. So, good card in sealed. Play it. But don't even talk about standard. Now, in sealed, it is splashable. That's the last thing we'll say. It's very splashable. Play it.
Yeah. Moving on, we got Sarkhan's Triumph. 3 mana, tutor dragon.
Yep, tutor dragon at instant speed.
Yeah, 3 mana, instant tutor dragon.
Yay, commander.
If you get enough dragons to do that in limited, then that isn't a terrible thing.
No, I mean in limited, if you pull some kind of ridiculous thing, or even there's a cycle of 6 mana rare dragons. You get any of those, not the Dragon Lords, but just the 6 mana rares. Those are all good. Triumph is probably fine in limited, especially sealed more than draft, I would say. Although in draft you get to choose your deck, so you can, it's much easier to get the dragons you want. But in any case. Triumph, I don't know how much standard play at all this is going to see. It's cool that it's instant speed. That's fine. It's cool that it's in red too, because you can go grab Storm Breath with it, actual relevant dragons.
Yeah. And Jeskai, you can grab a Jutai.
Yeah, that's another thing. Jeskai, you can get a Jutai. So maybe a Silver Bullet, a 1 of in some decks. I can see it, but I don't think anybody's going to run a 4 of Triumph,
Not unless we get some kind of amazing dragon deck. Actual, dragon.
Real dragon deck.
Yeah.
Like the 4-color Sarkhan Unbroken, I'm going to put all the dragons into play and kill you in 1 turn thing. Yeah. Maybe. What's this guy's name? This is Scream Reach Brawler. How do they? It's like, I think there's a random number generator when it comes to names. Scream Reach Brawler is the most vanilla card in red. You know, but 3 mana 2/3s are usually fine and limited, and you can dash them in at a lower cost. So,
icing.
You know, icing. This is a, you know, in the 20 to 23rd card range, you might play this. And if you're drafting the mono red, you know, aggro dash deck, this is good. Draft it. Don't draft it first, but do draft it. So let's move on.
Moving on, we get Seismic Rupture. For 3 mana, deal 2 damage to each creature without flying. We see a strictly downgraded Pyroclasm.
Yep, everyone loves Pyroclasm. Everyone hates this card. So, yep. But I mean, in sealed, it may deal with some of the things.
We've seen plenty of low toughness in this set.
Yeah, we
from
have.
Your average low cost stuff. So this can potentially like board wipe the walkers.
Yeah, this can help wipe. Yeah, you know. Well,
we're gonna throw some napalm at the walkers.
I don't like it at all.
Oh.
I'm gonna just say that. I don't like it. Just because I'm really comparing it too much to Pyroclasm. I'm not looking at the sealed environment as sort of a fishbowl, which is what you're supposed to do here. But I can't bring myself to like it. It's a board card. You'll bring it in against it if they're trying to do something crazy. Yeah. But I don't like it that much.
Moving on, we got something that he can see from a fishbowl.
You know, in the fishbowl that is Dragons of Tarkir Limited, I like Sprinting Warbrute. I do. Especially, like I said, in the draft deck, the red aggro draft deck. This is fine. I think in sealed it's okay because, you know, big fat guys for low mana costs are really good in sealed.
Oh yeah,
know.
They're fine. 4 mana for 5/4 or 5 mana for 5/4. Either way, it's still fine. Either way.
Yeah, it's gonna do some work for you. It really is. I mean, again, 20, 23rd card range. I see that red doesn't have a whole lot of like incredibly standout stuff. You know.
Yeah, I hate that
It's very stable color.
Cards and I have a hard time finding the cards that are like the middle picks, you know?
Exactly. You know, red has some high picks and then red has some low picks, but you really there's nothing to feed that, you know, 10th to 15th sort of slot. This is
Stormcrag Elemental. Neither one of us is terribly impressed with this.
Nope. Neither this nor the other 6-mana dragon we're about to cover. We don't like either of them. Splashable.
Yeah.
The thing I'll say about this, you know,
obviously elemental type, and then we got the next dragon, and yeah, they're both just meh.
Meh.
It's nice that the Megamorph cost is the same as his converted mana cost, just one more red mana intensive. So that's notable, but I mean, otherwise it's still just a 5/5 trample or a 6/6 trample at best.
A 6/6 trample for 6 is good. I like this better than the next card we're going to talk about. Yeah, I'll say that much. So let's go ahead and talk about the next card. This, what's this stupid thing's name? Darkwing Duck. This is Stormwing Dragon.
Darkwing Duck.
And he's terrible. This whole cycle of 6 mana, they megamorph and all your dragons get counters things. I don't like any of these. I think this is cool because it's first strike. First strike's kind of cool. You know, he kills all the other ones. that's something to remember.
He kills the other ones you're going to see because I think the blue one has hexproof.
Yeah, the blue one has hexproof and the black one has like death touch. So these are relevant abilities, you know. But I still, even that being said, don't like any of this cycle of cards, even in sealed.
Like straight up 4/4, and the Megamorph made him the 5/5.
It's one of those cards that I probably talk trash about in set review, but then when I open it in sealed, I'll be like, yeah, don't play this. So
it all depends on what you draw.
Yep. Oh, here's a stupid reprint.
Oh yeah, Summit Prowler, 4 mana 4/3.
Hey buddy, he's back.
Yep. Moving on.
Yep.
Tail Slash. We get 3 mana instant that.
Very interesting common.
Oh yeah, this is your red removal. Straight up.
Straight up. They fight, but the other guy doesn't hit back.
Yeah.
You just like Patrick Swayze roadhouse them. You give them the roundhouse kick, and they don't even get a chance.
This spell just ties them down, and then you beat the crap.
You beat the shit out of them with your tail. I love the flavor of the card.
Yeah, I kind of like the artwork considering.
I want it to be more like Impact. You know what I mean? Just like a guy getting hit in the face. It looks like this. With a dragon's tail. But,
I actually want them to just change the name to Tail Whip and have Squirtle.
Tail Whip. Oh, yeah, nice. Like Pikachu. Tail Whip you. But yeah, everything we can say about that card is mostly funny. Although it is, like we said, it is red removal. It's fight. They don't get to hit back. I think it's instant speed.
Well, it's red Charmander. They should just Call it Tail Whip.
Oh yeah, Charmander does Tail Whip. I mean, all the starters do Tail Whip. But
yeah.
Any Pokemon talk. but yeah, Ret Bulbasaur. But yeah, we can probably move on because the next card is very good. I would say.
Me and Devin both love this card, and I actually love this card a lot. This
I like it more than I did when it was first
dragons of the whole set.
What, did you tie him in this?
No, Vegeta is in this.
No, you said top 2 dragons of the whole set, so I would imagine number 1 is Vegeta. And then this? Okay. Yeah, alright.
As my favorite dragon.
No, I get that.
Like, don't get me wrong.
I get that.
Other ones could be proven better, but that's from first look and everything.
Yeah.
That.
This is fine.
Like, don't get me wrong. I love Icefall Region. That's why it's a tier 3.
He has talked my ear off about Icefall Region, and I'm starting to come around. I am.
So yeah, Thunderbreak Region, 4 mana, 4/4 flyer, and anytime he would become the target of a spell or ability, spell or ability that an opponent controls, he deals 3 damage to target player.
Exactly. By the way, that's any dragon. Whenever any dragon you control, So Stormbreath Dragon is a consideration, and some of the other things that we've seen in this set. But I mean, you're right to look at it in a vacuum. Like even in Mono Red Aggro, if this is your only dragon, if they try to remove him, they'll take 3 damage.
Exactly.
So and Mono Red Aggro, there's a lot of times like they can't afford to take that 3 damage, but they have to get rid of him because he's about to deal 4 to their face.
Exactly.
So I mean, 4 mana 4/4 flyer is more than relevant with absolutely no downside. This is probably a very good card, I think, and so does he. So you should too.
Jeskai Dragons. Look for it.
Jeskai Dragons. I like this guy. I like this kind of really focused thing. I just want to build Mono Red Aggro with this guy and see what happens.
I just want to build a dragon deck.
He's got to find a place though, because like in the Mono Red Aggro deck, he doesn't really fit in. But I mean, any 4 mana 4/4 flyer is welcome. That's good resume, bro. So let's move on to the dumbest new art for a card that I've ever seen.
Tormenting Voice. I like Tormenting Voice sometimes as a card because I've used it in Chromatic Flare and gotten plenty of actual use out of it. It helps as an extra card to delve away for Chromatic Flare to reduce the cost by 1 when you don't have the 4 creatures you want to delve away, as well as getting some of those creatures from your hand to the graveyard to be delved away.
It serves the same purpose as like Faithless Looting and cards like that. You draw cards and you put cards in your graveyard that can then benefit you later.
Exactly.
By the express purpose that they're in your graveyard.
However, it does not generate card advantage, and it's a sorcery, not an instant. So there's still a kink to be worked out.
I really don't like the card in sealed at all. I don't like, the last thing I'll say is that I don't like when Ugin looks like a person. When Ugin's doing people stuff.
Yeah, this artwork is terrible.
It also looks like he's doing like the, I can't hear you, blah, 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 so I don't, it's really, really stupid art. No offense to the artist, but that was bad. Don't do that. So let's move on to Twin Bolt. Twin Bolt is relevant and sealed, and it's a common. That's cool. It's really cool that it's common. So you'll usually kill one guy, but splitting the damage is also good. It's also good. This is
and it also goes to player straight to the dome.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken,
so much option out of this.
People have been asking for this because if I'm not mistaken, this is the fire half of Fire and Ice, the split card. It's literally the exact same card. It's just half of that card. People have been asking for it for a while. We finally get it, and this is relevant. People have been playing Arc Lightning in the board of some red decks. I don't know if this takes the place of Arc Lightning, but just that extra 1 mana difference may make all the difference. So I do like Twin Bolt. I don't know about Standard, but in Sealed I play this all day. So, see, Red has a lot of good targeted removal, which is what it's known for, obviously. But just the direct damage in the set is very, I think, tuned towards Sealed rather than Standard. So.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
But we do see some things, Rending Volley and Roast are both good targeted damage spells. So, we can probably move on.
Oh, yeah. Moving on, we get Vandalize. There's always usually, like, one of these effects in Red. Now... or sometimes we've seen both at the same time, but they're on
different cards. Yeah.
This time we got both of them on the same card for 5 mana.
Should be 4.
I kind of agree with Devin. I would like it to be 4, or at 5 at least be an instant.
We'll see how relevant it is. I wouldn't play this in Sealed. The only land you want to blow up is Haven of the Spirit Dragon. You don't even really care that much about it. You might want to blow up a monument. But there's really not. Again, there's not that many relevant artifacts. So
yeah. So if you get it, it'll be a sideboard thing.
Yep, definitely. Don't really care for it at all.
Moving right along, Volcanic Rush. This, however, is
Do like it. Remember when we talked about green yesterday? Yeah, we talked about green yesterday. We're like, this wants to be a new overrun. Like, we talked about that with like 3 different cards. Like, this isn't a new overrun. This kind of is a new overrun.
Yeah, this is a new overrun that's splashable. It's 1 red instead of the 2 green.
Yep. Well, 3 green for overrun. 2 green for overwhelming stampede. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
3 effing green for overrun. That was always the argument against overrun, is that it's completely unsplashable.
Yeah.
But now it's splashable.
Now it's completely splashable, and it's instant, so it's a combat trait.
Instant speed overrun. That's awesome. And sure, you don't get a toughness bump. You get 1 less power bump, but splashability is like super duper good. It's so relevant. And with overrun, I never cared about the toughness bonus because like you're killing them that turn. That's the point of overrun. You're killing them that turn. They do the same thing with this card.
Exactly. So you're not going to care about the toughness because you're planning to kill them that turn.
Yeah, I think the first time Tony and I both read this card, we kind of skimmed over it like, nah, that's the thing. But we looked at it a second time, and this card is very. I think this card is very good. Yeah, I like this card.
Played in limited.
Yeah, limited only.
He says limited only. I think it might see a standard play thing because an overrun effect that's splashable is a viable option.
Yeah, we see red white tokens, and that makes a lot of guys, so they may want an ability like this. But I think it's sort of priced out of red white tokens. So
this is true.
Yeah, we'll see, but definitely play this card in sealed. Don't play this card ever. This is Volcanic Vision, and I'm going to read this entire card. This is 7 mana, so it's bad because it doesn't.
It's sorcery speed.
Yeah, it's sorcery speed. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. 7 mana, that's terrible. Volcanic Vision deals damage equal to that card's CMC to each creature your opponents control. And then you exile this so that you can't. You can't Volcanic Vision. That'd be hilarious. But the first thing that a casual player thinks is, oh, dig through time, a treasure cruise. I can just treasure cruise and then hit them all their guys for 8. But by the time you're able to cast this and do all that, the game's going to be pretty much over. Yeah. So 7 mana is just way too much to pay for something like this. So don't play it in any format ever. So somebody's probably going to try to do something with a commander. Just blow up everyone's guys at the same time, Yeah. I could see that, but strictly commander, if that even. So
yeah.
Screw it.
Moving right along, we get Warbringer. 4 mana, 3/3.
4 Hill Giants are good in standard. Or in standard. They're terrible in standard. Hill Giants are good in sealed, yeah.
Yeah, sealed and limited. However, there is something to note. He's your dash piece. He's what's going to make your dash deck actually happen.
He's the dash deck enabler.
Yeah.
In sealed. I don't think this guy sees any standard play. Like, even if dash is a thing, I'm going to go on a limb and say that. These cards that reduce mana costs for stuff, they should cost themselves less mana. By the time you have 4 mana to pay for this guy, the fact that he reduces costs, especially for an ability that is already tuned to be low cost, is slightly more less relevant. Yeah. So I don't like him in standard or anything. No, in sealed he's fine. There's always you got to make the point too that once you dash him out, you can now afford to dash other things out. So now we're on our last card.
And this guy will be in standard.
I think definitely this guy will see standard. I mean, Zurgo, first of all, he's fun to say. Just the fact that he's a 1 mana 2/2, he's Isamaru. We saw him in Kamigawa Block. He's just a 1 mana 2/2, a legendary creature though, so you can't play 4 of them. I feel like he doesn't have to be legendary anymore.
Yeah.
Like this, I mean, obviously for lore reasons he is, but the card like this doesn't have to be legendary anymore. We've come a long way since Isamaru, and it's not broken to play 2/2s and for 1 mana. Not as much.
At the same time, he is a warrior.
He is a warrior, and there's you could do Marty Warriors. You could. I've always liked the white-black warriors, but there's War Name Aspirant, some other good red warriors you could play, and this guy's one of them. So just the fact that he's a 1 power or a 2 power 1 mana guy, he'll see standard play. You don't have to worry about that. Zurgo's good. You don't have to worry about them making your Zurgo bad because if you're talking in terms of standard viability, this Zurgo is miles ahead of the last Zurgo. So yeah, I said it. I don't care. Nobody played Zurgo. Nobody played Zurgo last standard. Nobody cared. So anyway. That's the last card that we have to talk about right there.
Oh, that's it.
That's red, you guys. What are our impressions of red? We kind of went through this a second ago.
I actually feel like red is going to be it got a couple of nice cards that could see playing standard in the creature format.
Yeah, Dragon's Whisperer, Zurgo we just talked about. You know, there's a couple of things. Regent.
Yeah, Regent. Yeah. And Commune with Lava.
Yeah, Commune with Lava could see some play. Yeah. I'm really on the fence about that. I think that's the one red card that we really don't know about yet.
Yeah.
So, like we said earlier, it's sort of either the very high pickability or the utility, you know. And I think that a lot of the design space for red in Limited has been spent on the mono red aggro deck in draft specifically. So
this is very true. I feel like mono red aggro draft style stuff, like between just mono red aggro / dash decks.
The dash deck.
Yeah.
That's where
a great chance
of being a thing. I don't know about sealed though. I think that in sealed your card pool might not be strong enough to support that kind of thing. But in draft, where you can sort of more pinpoint what deck you're building, you know, this will be a lot more of a thing. So.
I will say this: there are a couple cards that are going to look good in a cube.
Yeah, definitely. I'll put Dragon Whisperer in my cube like today. It's a really good card. No, I'm serious. That's a fantastic card. But red's pretty strong. I think green is the strongest color that we've talked about. I mean, obviously we've only talked about 2 colors, but green looks stronger than red in sealed. Yeah, definitely. Standard play red looks better than green though, I would say. So there's that to look forward to. So yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow for Black. We're about to record Proxy Wars, so look out for that. I'm Dev from Strictly Better MTG, and that...
I'm Tony.
He is Tony.
I'm the Brewmaster.
And we will see you folks next time, which will be very shortly, it turns out.